Tell us how those skills and those mindset practices have helped you, if anything, be a better photographer. Or how has your photography changed or been impacted by the journey that you went through and coming out the other side of it?
Well, because, I will tell you something, like when I was taking pictures of my life, I never used nothing to take pictures. If I did smoke, for example, I will get high. I will do pictures that then I say like, oh, I thought they were good, but it's not so good when I am in the computer, right? So I never really use it for that. But what I can say that now I feel more like sharp, more focused, like things from photography than ever. So this last year, I worked very hard between personal work and workshops around the world. And I can see a difference in my photography. I don't know. I think I improve it. And also what is very good, every time I finish a work, I make sure it's 100% select the work. I cure my work 100%. And that's what I'm working right now. I have more than 15, 20 years of traveling around the world that I really never go back to see the work. So I have a lot of work to do. I start with India, took me 2 months. So that's already, clean. And now next is going to be Bali because I live here. So I have a lot of work. But yes, at some point, I use also my mental health experience on my workshops, because when you give a workshop, it's kind of like a therapy, People is confronting the ego, insecurities, and what I'm trying to make them feel comfortable is like photography workshop is not about competition. It's about how we can all work, create together, and learn each other, right? So I've been putting also breathing techniques, meditation techniques in my workshops lately.
I mean, I'm glad you're talking about this, and it's one of the first issues of the journey back to a healthy mind is being able to admit that you have an issue, whatever that might be, whether that's alcoholism, drugs, depression, a situation that you understand needs to somehow be fixed. But even more than that, now, once you kind of have that admission, to be able to talk about it, right? To be able to talk about it for your own therapeutic results, but also to inspire others. And it's so great to hear that you've now infused that into workshops, because I don't think, when I talk about mindfulness and having, and I just call it mindful photography, but just having a little bit more awareness and intention behind the craft that you love, i.e. photography or whatever it might be, a lot of people kind of shy away from that, think it's a little bit hippie, a little bit airy-fairy, and photography is just photography, right? It's buttons and glass, basically. So it's great that now people are starting to understand that everything comes from here, everything in life, whether that's the skill that you want to learn, whether that's relationships, jobs, whatever it might be. If you're not right up here, or at least in some good level of health, then you're not going to A, achieve what you want to achieve, or B, make yourself happy or other people happy. So it's really nice that A, you've come out the other side of it. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
A lot of people don't. So it's really fantastic to have you here in a healthy mindset, but also passing it on, right? Passing it forward, passing your story and your history and the experiences you went through onto other people and what you've learned, because it's all we have, right? At the end of the day, all we have is our mind. That everything stems from there. So thank you for sharing. There are a couple more questions on that. And one is, you said you hired, a couple of, I guess, seminal moments for you, some light bulb moments for you in those dark times. And you hired a personal trainer. Exercise really helped. You hired a massage therapist, you hired a healer. And I guess my question to you is, if people can't do that, it all costs money, or, accessibility, what would you recommend if people are watching this and they are in a dark place and they want some help? What would you recommend? A couple of things.
Well, because my experience, I've been trying to help people. I go to clinics to give talks, not about photography. I give talks about my mental health experience. I go to AA, Alcoholic Anonymous, and Narcotic Anonymous as well, to give my testimony, you know? Like we say, hello, my name is Sebastian. Hello, Sebastian. Everybody say, right? That kind of places. It's beautiful. It's beautiful to give your testimony, right? So I have opportunity that people contact me because they know I was almost dead and I survived. So if the person is starting to be on depression or anxiety, it's important to get right away a psychology, go to the psychology to do therapy, because not many people can talk the problems to the friends or to the relatives. So it's the worst thing you can do is keep, because that sooner or later is gonna explode. So if it's necessary, and that's, I don't say that, that's will say the therapist. If it's necessary, don't be afraid to go to a psychiatric. Don't be afraid to take psychiatric medicine, because it's not forever. It's just for hard moment that can help you to put down depression, down anxiety. And also, when you are very bad, I highly recommend to go to a clinic, and they know it's not less than 4 weeks or 5, 6 weeks, because what happened, you lose the sense of the daily life. That's why you don't make the bed, you don't clean your teeth, you don't eat. You are like dead person, but still alive. That's how you are when you are in a big depression. So what this clinic does is to put it in a routine. You wake up at 7 in the morning, you do exercise, you do yoga, you go to group therapy, you have your own therapy, you have horse therapy, dog therapy, but you are 14 hours of activities, and that needs to be at least 6 weeks. So the real work, of course, starts when you leave the clinic and you keep the routine, because that's the problem. Like I told you, if you are bad and someone come, like thousands of friends told me, oh, do this, do that, do that. Nothing work. So you go to a clinic, you have professional people. You need to put on the hands of professional people. I can do good photography, but some people live and have this passion and this gift to help other people, to have empathy for other people. So put your hand, don't be afraid, don't be with shame, like, I'm not enough strong, I can do it by myself. Sometimes we need to surrender, give up, and know that if we are having this inside, it's a spiritual awakeness. And I highly recommend a movie, and I feel this in my skin right now. That's one of the stronger ever movie I saw about mental health, and I recommend that to you as well. It's called Crazy, like Crazy Wise. It's made by this photographer, Phil Borges.
Crazy Wise.
Crazy Wise.
Spell it.
I'm so bad spelling, but crazy like cuckoo, and wise like when you are like
W-I-S-E.
Yes.
Crazy Wise. Okay.
You can get that movie in YouTube.
Okay.
And that movie is made by a documentary photographer, Philip Borges, who started to make, he's a photographer, but he did this fantastic documental filming about how schizophrenic it's handled in Western society, but also how this kind of like mental health can be a bless on indigenous people, like in Siberia. Schizophrenic means that people hear voices, but also that can be like a channel. So there is a healer in Siberia and places that he found that those people are not like just crazy and kind of like pushed out of society. They're very respected because they can have the sensitivity that we don't have. So that is a great movie that I think is a fantastic, because it gives you like the perspective of how these people could be like a holy people in indigenous society, and how they can be like, living on the side of the society, using drugs in white trash America. Yeah.
Interesting. I'll watch that.
Yes.